So, okay. Okay, so just need to remember, okay, a few things. Number one, okay, is that you will need to know, number one, what is the consumer surplus and producer surplus. Okay, it's just the producer surplus is just the area above the supply curve and below the equivalent price that they sold at. Okay, and the consumer surplus is the area below the demand curve and the price they actually bought at. Okay, the equivalent price. And then the key thing is that to know the burden of the tax is always about the loss of consumer surplus. That's the consumer's burden, and for producers, it's due to a loss of producer's burden. Okay, and the rule of thumb is that who will bear a bigger burden, the relative burdens will really depend on the relative slopes, which means that, okay, it depends on the relative price elasticities, okay, of demand and supply. Okay, the relative price elasticities of demand and supply. Okay, so generally, what's the rule of thumb? Is that the more price inelastic, okay, stakeholder will bear a greater burden or incidence of the tax. Okay, so for example, okay, when you learn in chapter 5 next after the essay 1, one of the limitations of imposing an indirect tax on cigarettes or alcohol, a highly addictive stuff, is that most of the burden will fall on the consumer. Okay, so the companies don't care. Okay, so it doesn't really address the issue. Okay, so another thing is that, okay, remember what were some of the aims of the government? One is efficiency, right? One is efficiency. Okay, two is equity. Am I correct? Remember over here, right at the beginning, I say that the aim is efficiency and equity, right? So let me just write here, okay, for the benefits of indirect tax in chapter 4, the main thing is just tax revenue. Okay, so government has now a higher ability to spend, okay, and provide other goods. Okay, such as schools and hospitals. Okay, for this chapter, the main benefit. Okay, now, but what is the drawback? Okay, is that it might lead to income inequity between producer and consumer. Okay, as due to differing burdens of tax. So it's income inequity between producer and consumer. Okay. It also leads to income inequity between, okay, higher and lower income consumers, as the tax represents a bigger proportion of the lower income consumer income level. Okay? It also leads to inefficiency in the market due to a loss of market welfare. Therefore, it means that market welfare is not maximized. Efficiency means maximizing of welfare also. Huh? So this okay? Okay, and today later after this, I go through incidence of subsidy, we look at the case study question inside one of the notes, and that's it. Again, we don't go into price controls. Price control, I'll leave it on the 16th. Okay, and as I go through, fresh in your mind, go into a common test, you can just do it straight away. Huh? Okay, come. So, okay, can? Now, so that's for incidence of tax. Okay, now we're going to go into, okay, so if you look at the notes, okay, this is the diagram. Demand is less, elastic than supply. You got time, you can go and try and practice. Okay, can? Okay, so you see, if demand is less elastic, consumers bear larger share. If demand is more elastic, okay, then consumers will bear a smaller share. Okay, then firm will bear a bigger share. Okay, again? So go back and practice if you want to add it in. Okay, now I'm going to go to subsidy. Okay, so subsidy is the exact opposite. Okay, subsidy is the exact opposite. Okay, it's just I'm talking about producer subsidy. There are two kinds. Producer subsidy and consumer subsidy. Consumer subsidy is very rare. They give the money to the consumers, like GST vouchers and all this. So for A-level course, we're looking at producer subsidy. So producer subsidy will affect cost of production, but it will lead to a fall. Okay, Ken? So what we are concerned now is, okay, who will bear the incidence, not bear, enjoy. Who will enjoy the benefit of a subsidy. Okay, firms do not usually enjoy the full benefits. So same thing again. So let me just copy this out. Okay, so let's go to subsidy. Okay, this is 2.4, I think. 3.3. Okay, incidence of subsidy. Okay, now, okay, so we're talking about producer subsidy. When it's a producer subsidy, there'll be a lower cost of production. Okay, now because let's say your cost of production is $10, the government subsidizes $3. Your cost of production now is $7. Okay, so it leads to an increase in profitability, ceteris paribus again. Okay, and it leads to a increase in supply at every given price. Okay, can? So it's almost the exact opposite. That's what I was telling you, right? At the end of the day, it gets easier and easier and easier. Okay, can? So let me just draw again. It still depends. So again, okay, incidence of subsidy. Who, don't say bear anymore. Subsidy is a good thing. Who enjoys a greater share or incidence of subsidy? Don't say burden. Okay, no more burden. Okay, because now is something that's good. Okay, depends on relative price elasticities again. Okay, so same thing. I'm going to draw the diagram again, but slightly different now. Okay, slightly different. Diagrams are similar but slightly different. Okay. Okay. Come. So if you look at the diagram earlier, over here, I actually bring the line down, right? Now it's actually bringing the line up. Okay, so I'll show you. Okay, so that's the main difference. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, come. So incidence of subsidy. So same thing again. Draw a diagram. Okay, now is the flip side. Oh, very hot. Now price has become lower. Quantity has increased. Okay? Okay? Can? Now, but the subsidy is not P0, P1. It's a vertical amount. Okay? But you drop it, go up. Okay? P2. So this is the subsidy amount. So the trick is always push back, extrapolate to the original supply curve. Extrapolate it to the, means drop it up to the original supply curve. Just now was dropped down to the original supply curve, right? Now it's dropped, push it up, shift it up to the, okay? Okay, stay with me. Let's label it now. One, two, okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. A bit confusing, eh? Stay with me, Can? That's why I say it's good to look at the original supply curve rather than look at the new supply curve. Because the new supply curve is actually, in a sense, a pseudo supply curve because it's purely just due to artificial costs like subsidy or tax. Okay, Can? Can, Okay, come. Before subsidy, where is the consumer surplus? 1 and 2, right? Again? Before subsidy, what's the producer surplus? 4 and 8, right? Okay? Can? Now, is the after subsidy is a bit special, Now, the subsidy, stay with me, the subsidy amount, total subsidy is the subsidy amount times quantity sold. Correct? So if you look at it, it's actually area P1, P2, CB. Right? Subsidy amount times the quantity sold is now sold at Q1. So can you see actually when the government subsidizes, right, they have to spend quite a lot. Can you see? So it's actually area 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7. That's a whole subsidy amount. The whole rectangle. 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7. Okay? Right? Because subsidy amount times the quantity sold. 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7. So can you now see actually for a government to subsidize stuff, they have to spend quite a lot. Okay? So how do they spend? They have to earn, right? Okay, so they tax. Tax some place and spend. Tax some place, spend. Okay? Come. So, who enjoys this subsidy? Okay? So, after subsidy, what is the new producer surplus? So, my take is always go back to the original supply curve. Okay? So now, the producer, okay, you must be careful, yeah? Must be careful, okay? Even though, actually if you can see, right, this is the new producer surplus, supposedly if you look at the supply curve, right? This one, right? Yeah. But actually, if you look at it, this triangle is also the same as this triangle. They're the same. Okay, they're the same. Okay? So, if you look at it, the producer actually, right, what happened is that, right, the producer sells, the equivalent price is at P1, but the producer is going to get P2 because this amount is given to the firm. Understand? So let's say the market price is $10, but the subsidy is $5. So the producer will actually get $15. Right? 10 plus 5, $15. Understand? So actually, if you look at it, the original producer surplus is here, right? The original producer surplus is 4 plus 8. Okay, 4 plus 8. Okay? But now they're going to receive P2. So what happens is that what's the extra producer surplus they get? 2 and 3. 2 and 3. So a new producer surplus is actually 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 8. 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 8. Because even though the market equivalent price is at P1, let's say P1 is $10, but the government is giving a $5 subsidy. So the producer is receiving P2. So it's 10 plus 5, $15. Is that what I mean? So the trick is always go back to the original supply curve. Always go back to the original supply curve. The government is going to pay P2 to the producer at P2. So, so what happens is that the total revenue earned is OP1 BQ1. Right? Okay, sorry, actually not total revenue. The total spending is OP1 BQ1. Okay, aside, I write it here, aside. Total spending by the consumer is OP1 BQ1. Okay, but the total revenue earned by the producer is actually OP1 BQ1, which is the consumer's expenditure, plus the subsidy amount P1 P2 CB plus the subsidy. So actually the total revenue earned by the producer, right, is OP2 CQ1. Okay? Can? So actually if you realize, for the producer to produce at this quantity, they must have this price. So this whole thing is the producer's revenue. Okay, of which, okay, this is the subsidy amount, this is the consumer spending. Okay, Ken? Aside, okay, Ken? Now, what is the new consumer surplus? It's area 4, 5, and 6. Correct? 4, 5, and 6. Hey, sorry, it's 1, 2 plus new consumer surplus is 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. This whole triangle. Correct? Because now they are paying at P1. Right? Area below demand curve and above the price they bought. Right? Can? 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. Okay? Can? Sure? Okay, so if you look at it, who enjoys the subsidy? Right? Do you realize 4, 5, and 6, that's the subsidy, right? Is enjoyed by the consumer. Okay? Then 2 and 3 is enjoyed by the producer. Then what is 7? 7 is welfare loss. Okay, is the government has to subsidize the extra amount 7.
After subsidy, right?
Yeah.
Producer and consumer surplus can share the same 2 and 4.
It's because this 2 and where is it? 2 and 4.
The one that wrote, the 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. Then the PS and the CS both got 2 and 4.
1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5 and 6. Because I'm looking at the supply going up. So there's a bit of interchanging. Because actually, if you look at the supply plus subsidy, right? Okay, actually by right, if you want to see, right, is this triangle here. It's this triangle here. So actually, if you want, you can put a tier, then 8, 9, 10, 11. Can also, no problem. The reason why is because it overlaps. Because by right, this triangle here is the same as this triangle here. So if you look at the new supply curve, this triangle is the consumer surplus. And this triangle is the producer surplus. But then it gets a bit complicated if you see like that. Then it's very hard for you to see a subsidy amount. You understand what I mean? So you just need to go back to the original supply curve and just see 1, 2, and 3. Okay, can? Why? Because at the end of the day, we don't have to do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At the end of the day, you need to identify the subsidy plus who enjoys the subsidy. Is that? So who enjoys it is this amount here is to the producer, this amount here is to the consumer. And 7 is the deadweight loss. Okay, Ken? Okay, Ken? So yeah, you're right. So in a sense, why overlap is really because actually if you want, you must see the below triangle. But then if you see a below triangle, it gets a bit confusing. Okay, Ken? Okay, Ken? So this is the okay, so let me print screen this. So let me write here. So what happens is that, okay, producers' share of subsidy equals to 2 plus 3. Consumer share equals to 4 plus 5 plus 6. Okay. Okay, now same thing again. Okay, who bears a biggest? We're talking about the incidence of subsidy already. Okay, again. So same thing again. I'm now going to draw 2 scenarios again: PD more than PS and PD less than PS, and then you'll be able to see the difference. Okay, so you want to try yourself also, can you try yourself? Okay, you try yourself first. So insert a subsidy. Okay, PD is more than PS. So just draw PD very elastic. Okay. Okay. So actually all you do is you do have to do a 1, 2, 3, 4, just do like that. Okay. So just say that if you look at it, subsidy equals to P1, P2, CB. Okay. So producer share is actually more than consumer share. Producer share is the yellow area. Or can call it P not P2CA. Okay, P not P2CA, right? Due to a gain in, you just divide it, due to a gain in consumer, due to gain in producer surplus. Consumer share is the blue area. It's actually P not AB P1 due to gain in consumer surplus. So you can see that if PED is elastic, consumers will enjoy less of the subsidy. Okay, so now you try the other one. Okay, try yourself. Okay, now try yourself. I'll give you some time to try the other one. Okay, you copy the first one, you try the other one yourself using the same. parameter is the same. You copy this. Okay, just that now, producer share now is smaller. Okay, so toilet. Okay, y'all take a look at this. Okay. Okay, so if you look at it, you realize it's the same thing again. Whoever is more inelastic, whoever will enjoy a greater incidence. Huh? Ken? Okay. So, if you realize from the diagram, okay, you just need to, the more price inelastic stakeholder will enjoy a greater share of the subsidy. Right? Okay, can? So it's the same rule of thumb. The more price inelastic stakeholder will bear a bigger burden of the tax. The more price inelastic stakeholder will enjoy a greater share of subsidy. Okay, so same thing again. What's the benefits of a subsidy? Okay, it will lead to higher, okay, income equity, as now the good is cheaper. Okay, and furthermore, the subsidy would form a bigger proportion of the lower income groups' income. Okay, more affordability. Number two, okay, number two next time lah. Okay, can? But what is the drawback? Same thing. Number one, it leads to higher income inequity between, okay, producer and consumer due to differing price elasticity. It's almost the same thing. Okay, other than that, okay, subsidy leads to inefficiency. Okay, inefficiency equivalent to the area ABC. Okay, due to a wastage of resources. That's all in the right. Okay, caused by a producer subsidy, leading to okay. That's all. Don't think too much. Okay. Okay, so okay, let's look at the micro revision notes. Okay, the questions. So there's some questions here. Let's go to page. So a typical question they will ask you will be like, yeah, finishing it, okay? Part C. Okay? Part C. With reference to extract 2, explain why farmers are finding it. Page 13. Okay? With reference to extract 2 and 8 of a demand and supply diagram, explain why farmers are finding it tough to pass on rising costs of pork to consumers. Okay, Ken? So maybe we have to show what is the rising cost of pork. Okay, cost of fish stock. Okay, so let me just, the sample answer is behind, but I'm going to use this time. I'll go through with you all. Then that's it. Okay, so let me go through this. This is page 13, right? Page 13, correct. Okay, now page 13, can I see that? Can I find it? Now, so let me just write here first. What is the application of elasticity, applications of incidence question? Okay, there are 3 main areas. Okay, A, okay, is about who bears a bigger burden of tax. Okay, B, who enjoys a greater share of subsidy. C, who bears the burden of higher prices, higher costs. Okay, so if you look at this question, they are explaining why are farmers finding it tough to pass on rising costs of pork to consumers. So if you look at the case study, the reason why pork cost is increasing is because of the feedstock. Okay, the grain to be fed to the pigs. Okay, again. So let me just show you how to do it. So rule of thumb for this question, right? Oh. Okay. This rule of thumb is that this question is always asking about, okay, the relative. Okay, to show, the key thing is showcase with a diagram. Okay, to illustrate the differences in consumer surplus and producer surplus. That's all. Okay, then this will be your different burdens, incidence, or share. It's always like that. Okay, it's always like that. So you don't have to do the 1, 2, 3, 4. You just write due to a loss in consumer surplus, due to a loss in producer surplus, due to a gain, due to a consumer surplus, due to a gain in producer surplus. You don't have to go and one original consumer surplus is this, new consumer surplus is this. Don't have to. Okay, don't have to. Okay. Okay, so this one, okay, sample practice on micro notes, page 13, part C. Okay. Okay, I'll be finishing it. Okay. So what you do is first you say that you identify the case study evidence. You say that increase in the grains, price of grains needed to price of feedstock, such as grains. This will lead to the increase in cost of production of rearing of pork, say. okay, as feedstock is a factor input or factor of production of pork. Okay, can? Then cost of production, straight away you say that decrease in profitability, okay, of pork, ceteris paribus. So decrease in supply of pork, okay, at every given price. Okay? Now, when we say farmers are finding tough to pass on, so who bears a bigger burden of the rising cost? Farmer or consumers? Farmers, right? So you know that means that the PS is more inelastic than PED. Okay? So you just need to write, farmers find it hard to pass on the rising cost of pork, okay, to consumers because of relative, okay, because just to say the PS of pork is more inelastic than the PED of pork. Okay, thus consumers would be relatively more responsive to changes to increase in price. Okay? Can? Now, then, every time remember, when you write this is a rule of thumb, right? But you got to explain, give evidence, reasons why PD is more inelastic or PD is more elastic, PS more inelastic, sorry. So you say that, okay, so you just, Egypt man wear takes on their pants in olden times. PS of pork is usually inelastic due to a long gestation period, as farmers take about, okay, a few years, right, to be able to, okay, rear pigs, okay, and produce pork. Okay, thus they are not able to respond quickly to change in price. Okay? If you have time, you can say, therefore, an increase in price will lead to a less than proportional increase in quantity supply. If you have time, if not, don't waste time. Therefore, an increase in price will lead to a less than proportionate increase in quantity supply. Okay? On the other hand, so use this kind of terms. PED of pork is relatively more price elastic. So of course you will say, oh, pork is a necessity, right? Shouldn't it be inelastic? Yes, but as I said, okay, you are trying to answer the question. So don't use elasticity, don't use necessity. Use PANTS, use S. Okay, substitutes due to an availability of close substitutes such as other meat like beef and chicken. Thus making consumers more responsive to changes in price. Okay? Okay? Then you just draw a diagram, explain. So let me just, okay, this one just, okay, draw a diagram. You can literally use the incidence of tax. Okay, you can use the PD more than PS. Can I just draw first one? Okay. Pork price. So PS is more inelastic. S0 to S1. Demand elastic. But the rising price is here. P2. Okay, so this is the rise. Oops, sorry. Rise in cost of production. Okay. C. Print screen. Paste. Format. Crop. Yes, correct. You can write it there also, supply inelastic if you want to. So you say, okay, so explain a diagram. Can see that? Oh, sorry. Okay. So, okay, due to increase in cost of production, right? Decrease in profit, so you can say decrease in supply from S0 to S1. Okay, can? Then you say that, okay, this leads to a shortage. Every time remember, okay, whenever you draw a demand supply diagram, always explain how it reaches new equilibrium. This look a shortage at the original price, P0. Shortage leads to upward pressure on price. Price keeps increasing until it reaches a new equilibrium. Okay, point. I got it wrong. It should be A to B. A to B. Cannot A to B. A. Okay, A to B. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me just wrap it away. A to B. Okay, so equilibrium point B with a higher equilibrium price P1 and lower equilibrium output Q1. Okay, can? Then you say that, okay, the consumer's burden of the higher cost, okay, is equivalent to the area P1 BA P0. Okay, can just need write that. I know that triangle ABC is a deadweight loss, but in this case there's no deadweight loss because it's price. There's no tax. Okay, it's really literally price. Okay, due to a loss of consumer surplus. Just need to say that. Okay, whereas okay, the producer's burden is equivalent to the shaded area, to the area P naught A C P2, okay, due to a loss of producer surplus. Okay, so only you say that since PES is less than PED, the producer's burden is relatively larger than the consumer's burden, thus explaining why. So link back to the question, farmers are finding it tough to pass the rising cost of pork to consumers. Okay? Can? Okay? Let me just take a photo because I will upload this. Okay? So let's wrap it up. Summary. Okay? Number one. Today, the main thing we're doing is in terms of content, okay, you need to know, okay, what is producer surplus and consumer surplus, okay. Then number two, the main thing we're learning today is the incidence of tax. I talk about indirect tax, indirect tax, producer subsidy, and higher prices, okay. So, or if it also can be lower prices, that will be who will enjoy. Okay, explain why farmers enjoy a bigger share of the decrease in cost. Okay, the main thing is, the main rule of thumb is always relative price elasticity. Okay, how to expand the answer? Every time when you see, okay, this kind of question, you think of a few things. Number one, you always think about, okay, use the word keywords like responsive and proportionate. Okay, when you talk about PDPS. Number two, give reasons for the PD and PS, okay, values. Okay, PD, you think of pence. PS, you think of times. Okay, then draw diagram. When you draw diagram, what must you explain? Explain the price adjustment process, shortage surplus, and then explain loss of consumers and producer surplus, okay, with the equivalent areas. Okay, that's it. It's almost just like that, very prescriptive. So there is another question. Okay, I'll go through that. The next lesson. Okay, so next lesson. Okay, on 16 March. Okay, Saturday. Okay, 8:30 again. Okay, what I'll do is, okay, it will be divided in a few parts. Number one, I will revise, recap a bit. Okay, on this on incidents. Okay, that's one. Then the second part is I'm going to go through price controls with you. Okay, price ceiling and floor. Okay, so that's it. So thank you. Okay, now you can